Most people who are toxic, most co-workers who are toxic at the workplace, do not even know that they are toxic. Hello, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Keli. My channel is called Reimagining the Workplace, and in this channel we talk about how a workplace should look like, or how a workplace should not look like, and everything in between, everything that has to do with the workplace, and how us as human resources should be happy at the workplace. Yeah, so welcome. In today's episode, we are still doing the series of toxic work cultures and toxic workplaces, and in today's episode we are going to discuss, am I the toxic employee? Yes. So now we are going to look at things that we do that will help us know if we are the toxic employee or we are not. Okay, so first, before we even go into that, it's good to note that most people who are toxic, most co-workers who are toxic at the workplace, do not even know that they are toxic. I think we mentioned that in a previous episode. They do not know. They've just grown up thinking that bullying other people is normal. They have grown up with fighting several traumas, and they have made them like that. Like they have had to build themselves like that emotionally to cope with the traumas that they have gone through, and they think that's what differentiates them from other people in the office. Others are exposed to toxic work cultures. Like, toxicity comes from above, from the bosses, from the management, and for them to cope or to survive that, they also become toxic. Yeah, so it's important to understand those things, that you may be a toxic employee and you don't know. Yeah, and we're going to learn that today. You're going to know if you are the toxic colleague. Point number one, am I selfish? The first sign that you're that toxic employee is that you're selfish, you're self-serving, self-centered. Everything you do in the office is all about you. If you hang out with someone, you do it because there's something you're benefiting somehow from that relationship. Everything you do around the office is always made to serve you. You do it to serve yourself. For example, in a team, maybe let's say it's a sales team, and they have made a major sale, they always put up a front to look like they're the ones who have sold that thing. It's their sale. They led the team. Like, everything they do it to predominantly benefit themselves. If you're that kind of employee, then you are the toxic employee. You are the toxic co-worker. Sorry. You're the person that other employees or your co-workers don't want to associate with because toxic. Point number two, I gossip other co-workers. Have you ever worked in an office where there's people, like someone who just has something to say about everyone else? It can be anyone in the office. They always have something to say about that other person. They gossip. They thrive in gossip. That's how they keep relationships at the office, because they They talk about everyone. They have something to comment about everyone. They comment about how other colleagues are dressing, are dressed up. They comment about their hair, their makeup, their everything. They just have something to always say about other co-workers. They badmouth people. They trash talk others. They say anything. They don't care who it's going to hurt. They'll just go ahead and say it. Then if you're that kind of a person, my friend, you're toxic. You're the toxic co-worker that others do not want anything to do with. So check yourselves, know if you're that kind of a person, and change. You are the toxic co-worker if you are part of a clique. We talked in a previous episode about cliques at the workplace and what they do. They hurt other people, they harm other people. I think it's called the clique culture. You're part of a group that thrives in discussing other people. Cliques are basically like they're based on humiliating other people, looking down upon other people in the office. They're not healthy. Cliques are never healthy at any workplace. They are dangerous. Especially if you're a leader of a clique. It sounds like a group, a bullying group at school, like the bad girl club or bad boy club. If you're that kind of a person, if you're part of a clique or even a leader of a clique at your workplace, in the office, or wherever, whatever kind of job you do, and you lead this clique or you're part of it, and all you do is humiliate others, gossip others, put them down, humiliate others, then you're the toxic colleague, you're the toxic co-worker, and you're not serving others. You're not even serving yourself. It's a bad thing for yourself. It doesn't work positively on your image, and it's not even Christian. For those of us who are Christians, it's a bad thing. Yeah, so check yourself and change. Another thing that bad or these cliques do at the office, they celebrate other people's mistakes. They celebrate other people's shortcomings. If a co-worker finds themselves in trouble, instead of sympathizing with them, saying, oh, we are sorry, we are here to support you, and all that kind of stuff, they celebrate on your back. They can show, outwardly that they are caring, they are empathetic, whatnot, but deep down they are celebrating. They celebrate your mistakes and your shortcomings, and even when you're reprimanded by your bosses, they celebrate. They are at the back celebrating and being happy that you've fallen or you failed in that area. So bad clique culture in the office is a bad thing and should be avoided by all means. The number 4 reason that you are the toxic co-worker that should be avoided by all means is that you do not have etiquette. What do I mean by this? Just simple, general manners at the office. You don't have manners. You're the person who does not clean after their mess. They leave everything everywhere. Their desk is not clean, or files or whatever are not arranged well. You just don't bother about cleanliness because there's someone who is employed to do that. I mean, that's their job, they'll do it. You don't care about cleanliness. You don't care about just general etiquette. You don't care about etiquette. You don't care about even saying good morning to other people. Just generally being a good person, being someone who is well mannered at the office. You do not even dress appropriately. You don't dress like someone who is going to the office or who is aware that they are going to meet other people in the office, because that's why offices have, or workplaces have, dress codes. You do not work dress up putting others in mind. You also do not care about keeping the office environment quiet. You're a noisemaker. You're the kind of person who is always moving from one desk to the other, making noise for other employees and making it hard for them to work in peace. That is bad manners. That is not right. It's okay, you are allowed to walk from your desk to someone else's desk to take a short break, but not to make noise. Otherwise, what time do you even get to do your job if you cannot, you do not care about such kind of good manners at the workplace? Yeah, they do not have etiquette. Move from one desk to another, making noise for other employees, talking about everything, being loud generally at the office environment, or even any other work environment. In this channel we discuss anything, any workplace, wherever you're working, even if it's on a construction site, wherever. Their work is to move around everyone, disturbing everyone, making it very hard for other colleagues to work. Colleagues who do not have etiquette even steal stuff from people. They steal simple things like you will find your pens are missing, you find your diary is missing, you find your calculator is missing, whatever. You just can't find anything that you left on your desk. Yeah, so if you're that kind of a colleague who disturbs others, who does not care about etiquette, who cannot clean after themselves, who cannot keep the office environment clean, and generally observing simple etiquette at the office, then you're a toxic employee. You are the toxic co-worker that we are talking about today. Point number 5. You're the toxic co-worker that I'm talking about if you flirt with your colleagues at the office or at any workplace. The workplace is meant for work, period. It's not meant for romance. It's not meant for flirtations. It's not meant for anything other than work. Toxic co-workers go as far as demanding sexual favors from colleagues so that they can reward them with jobs, with promotions, with all these kinds of benefits, especially if they hold a higher position. Maybe they are a supervisor or whatever kind of a boss. If you're the kind of boss who demands sexual favors from subordinate staff or reward them with whatever, then you're toxic. You're a toxic employee. Some even assault people at work. They touch women inappropriately. They comment about how women are dressed up, and I'm talking about women because this is what I have seen. There are men who just feel the need to comment about how a woman is dressed and how they look in what they are wearing, and sometimes they'll even touch you inappropriately. You are a toxic co-worker if you do that to your employees. You may not agree, but you are toxic. Point number 6. Another thing that will make you know that you are the toxic co-worker is if you incite others against your boss or your supervisor, whoever it is. This makes the boss or the supervisor hate the other employee. It makes them change their perspective of them. It changes how they look at them. It even influences their firing. They may be fired because of your incitement, because of the things that you said. I have experienced that at previous workplaces, like more times than I care to admit. I have been incited against, if that's a phrase. People just create stories, they cook stories, they go to their bosses with them. And let me tell you, these kind of bosses have their own insecurities. They know they are not confident at their work. They know they are not better than you. You are a threat to them. They see that you're working without much trouble or without problems with other employees, so they feel threatened by you. So what do they do for them to cope? They go to your boss or to the general boss and incite you and say very ridiculous things about you, and that makes your boss start looking at you differently. And I have even been fired before because of incitement, because someone went ahead and said things that are not true about me. And even if they were true, who made you a reporter for the company? Why are you going to incite other people, other co-workers against your boss? Another form of incitement would be if you're the kind of person who, again, groupings, clique culture. You have a group and therefore you incite them against each other, or you incite them even against the boss. You because of the power that you have, because of the influence that you have, you call people, you call your clique, or generally just all employees, those that care to listen to you, and incite them against the boss. So you caused strikes. I've worked at a place where someone, because they have an influence, they were a supervisor of a department, they influenced other colleagues to demonstrate or to riot against the HR. The HR was sitting, who was the current HR at that time. They did not want him. They did not want him. They said he was working against them, and therefore you are a toxic colleague if you do that. If your work is to incite other people against another employee or a co-worker. So if you're that kind of colleague, you're the kind of colleague who is causing chaos at the workplace, who is causing co-workers to fight amongst each other, because when you incite them, you don't know what you leave one employee or one co-worker feeling about the other co-worker, and then that makes it easier for colleagues to start fighting amongst each other, to just generally cause a problematic environment. Number 7, and the last point, have you ever met colleagues who at the workplace, all they do is complain and complain and complain about everything and anyone? They are always complaining about the boss, mara the supervisor, mara their co-worker. They are constantly in complaining mode. They complain day in, day out, and they don't come up with solutions. They will come to your desk and talk about everything, their own family, their girlfriends, their boyfriends, everyone. They make noise for other colleagues and they don't come up with solutions, or they make other colleagues suffer or be found guilty by association, if there is such a word. Because if someone comes to your desk and they are telling you things day in and day out, complaining about everything and anything, and they're not giving you solutions, if you're found with them today and tomorrow and the next day, then you're guilty because you're entertaining them. And therefore, if you're that kind of a colleague who is always complaining about everything to other workers, to your boss, to your colleagues, you're toxic. If you're employed, you're working at whatever it is that you're working at, and you're this kind of a person, those things that we've listed above, you disturb colleagues, you gossip colleagues, you comment everything about everyone. You are always complaining, giving no solutions. All those things that we've listed. Examine yourself and see if you're that kind of employee, and be better. Do whatever you can do to make yourself better, to make yourself more useful at the office environment or at any work environment. Make life easier for other colleagues by being better, by doing better, and that way we create a positive work culture, because that's why we have this channel. That's why this channel is here, is to create a positive work culture and work environment for all employees. Yeah, so if you like this kind of content, we request you that you subscribe to our channel, that you put on the notification bell. That way when we upload new videos, you'll be the first ones to watch them, and you are going to grow in this journey together. Bye bye. Thank you so much.